that picture was taken on the front cover by the sheriff of the town. And it's actually 4 pictures of one being. And this is when he was about 50 feet away. And then when he was about 20 feet away, as he was approaching his police car on this dirt road. Mm-hmm. Then about 10 foot away. And then he was still about 10 feet away up there. And they put all 4 pictures together on the one, in the one.
So they superimposed it.
Yeah, and there's all 4 pictures of him.
God.
It was all silvery and everything. And then the sheriff started getting scared after he took the pictures, right? He started getting scared, and he put his blue flashing lights on, and the alien got scared. And the alien took off down the hill, down the road, started running. He ran so fast that the cop car couldn't catch him. Really? And he backed up and started for him and started chasing him in the police car. And then he jumped off the road and took off across the field and into the woods. And the sheriff never saw him again. That's a tremendous story by a sheriff.
Oh, now this is
with photographs
out of that book.
Yeah, now there's all the different shapes of the UFOs that have been seen in the earlier days.
Now you take this
60s, 50s.
This picture, and you add a light up there with something standing up, like rods or something coming up with lights.
Yeah.
Put lights here. And then that would be what I drew a drawing of when I drew that one picture. These right here, this picture here, reminds me of the little ones I've seen in the dreams. Like the 1 man, 10 foot wide type guys that flip flop, like can move like this, just any way they want. Not like, oh, they have to roll, or no, they can just flip, do, just move how they want. And then I remember that series of dreams that I had where I was being instructed. I drew a spaceship one time, and that was more of a flat type, something along this line, within this type, but that there's windows or grooves right here. It wasn't just flat, like there was. It would be like there was something like this. But they were more flat.
So this drawing is of which?
This was the drawing, basically. I had made something along this line. I can't really recall now because this was, 1980 or 79 when I made this one drawing. But it was more in detail when I drew it. These are just stick figure drawings I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But it had a row.
You saw this one? Where at?
In my dream.
Which one?
When I was being educated.
Oh, okay. Being educated by the alien.
Alright. And it was a very more flat type with no bottom basically to it. See, it was just so more like this type of one. And then the other one that I saw that I had drawn a picture on was more bulbous. There was more on top than on the bottom. And there was lights. And there was like a little bubble type thing here where it was basically clear. But there was something sticking up there like that.
And that was when?
That dream I had last year. And I had drawn that.
It was about what?
That was a dream where it landed in the neighborhood when I was looking out the window. But this is another distorted dream. See, where I was with Jeff when we were in the living room, but not of any living room that I know of, but in a living room on the couch, and I looked out the window and I saw this land, and it landed behind basically a church that was in a neighborhood. Seemed like the neighborhood was actually in Las Vegas. The old neighborhood where I used to live, kind of like. And anyway, it landed behind a church. Old white building church, and there was a road here, kind of like our little residential street, and the house would be here that I'm in, and it landed behind here, and this lightish blue light was walking towards the house from it. It got out, and I didn't see it wasn't a human form. It was just a light blue light with a form to kind of walking to the window. I'm watching it, and the electrical systems went out in the house, and I was scared, and that's all I remember.
You were scared.
Oh yeah, I was horrified, but I was going, hey, this is it. And,
You're crouching under the window.
no, that was another dream.
Oh.
That was a different dream.
You felt this was it.
That was another time. But see, I was able to draw this one in detail. So this is just a really basic, quick type thing where last year when I drew it, I could draw everything to it. So that was along this line, but more like this, where there was more to the top than to the bottom. And so there really isn't one here that fits that. And the thing that the ones that fit more here would be these, except this didn't have one of them on there.
Yeah.
And then these.
Yeah. Okay. Let me read something here.
And then the ones that I saw diving in the lake, basically would resemble something like this, but more elevated. Maybe something, well, no, something along this line, but kind of different. Would be them. Now, is this a picture here that was just high contrast, black and white? Is that an actual photograph, or is that an artist's rendering?
Artist's idea of what he saw. It's based on what he saw.
I'm looking through here to see if I can't see something that looks like what I see. Oh, what was this about?
The astronauts. The astronauts have seen a lot of UFOs.
But they're not able to talk about it, are they?
Well, yeah, a lot of them. Here's another one. See this astronaut here? Oh, this photo.
Oh, he took that from
July
the window?
'69, Apollo 11. Yeah, he took this. The crew spotted a strange object between the ship and the moon. At first they thought it was another rocket, but it wasn't. And they said that was 6,000 miles away, so it wasn't what they took a picture of. Neil Armstrong said it looked like an open suitcase. And the object still remains unidentified. And this is a blow-up of a strange thing. And the other one is, let's see, who was that? Yeah, the Gemini and the Apollo and the Skylab astronauts.
What about the Vortex
James
app?
McDivitt's photograph, 1965. You see this one? This is a motion picture with a tail. It's like a tadpole with the tail. That was James McDivitt's photograph.
Do you think any of that really freaked any of those astronauts out?
Well, it made them become more aware of what's going on, and helped them to, it opened them up to where they could tell other people. And
or was
finally,
the government making them go, shh?
Yeah, NASA clamped down on them somewhat, but still they talk about it. They said, I don't care if you're clamping down on us or not, we're going to talk about it while we're lecturing. And it says, we think other people should know about these things. Because they were meant to know.
Jesus.
Yeah, isn't that tremendous? Read it.
Huh.
Where was that?
In Netherlands.
Here in the Netherlands, September.
That's
52.
huge.
Huge whitish
That's huge.
round thing. And you see, here's one over top, a picture over top of the sheep. You see?
Mm-hmm. In Australia.
Yeah.
That's a good shot.
Yeah. Yep.
Sicily, huh?
Yeah. This was taken in Sicily.
1954.
Right. There's another one, like on an angle coming down. Now they say they're clouds. Did you ever see a cloud like that before?
No.
Now there is other clouds in the sky. See the clouds?
Yeah, those are clouds. Those aren't clouds.
Right.
So what's the bit about John Lear talking about the vortex?
Vortex.
Yeah, particular vortex out in that area. Do you know what that is I'm talking about? Yeah.
Why do you want this on tape?
This is about John Lear now. This is
Well, he didn't. This is not information that he brought out, but this is ongoing information. There's like many different spots around the Earth, probably 12, and they're evenly spaced, similar to the Bermuda Triangle, which is over, in that area. And there's like 12 other ones. One's called the Devil's Triangle, one's over the Great Lakes Triangle they call it. And there's one over the Indian Ocean. And these places are very magnetically different than the rest of the Earth. If you had a magnet in that area, it would go wild in many of the places in that triangle. And they feel that there's this probably is where a window may exist from outer space, where a UFO can come in from outer space and be drawn into the Earth through the magnetic waves of the Earth and through this window, and would be able to then fly in the atmosphere.
well, I guess at the
So
lecture
it's like a space window.
there was John Lear at that lecture he gave it. He talked about there was something out in the Nevada area near the Vegas area like that
Mm-hmm.
that he's been working on.
Oh,
And
okay.
so you might want to ask him about that
Yeah.
in one of his letters or whatever.
Yeah.
That basically that there's a door or a window or something
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
interplaned.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the basic idea. So they feel that a lot of strange things have happened in these windows. There's one over in England also, and UFOs have been seen around that area almost every day, every night, for years and years. And it's near some mountains, and those mountains always had strange things occurred in there from tradition to tradition all along, all the way for hundreds and hundreds of years. Matter of fact, we had a friend that went over there to visit it, Timothy Beckley, and Tim took a picture of friends of his that he went with to visit this weird area. And when he took the picture, a light came down from the sky, and you can see it in the picture, and to the base of the mountain, and did a jumping type of thing right behind the people. And the photograph picked up the people that he took a picture of, the mountain, and this light that came down from the sky and jumping behind him. So we got a picture of it also. Isn't that wild?
That's great. I'm gonna have to start bringing my camera with me.
Yeah, you got to do that.
I was just reading in this book about how do you say that word?
The Pleiades.
Oh, the Pleiades and
Star cluster.
the Pleiades star cluster.
Are the seven little sisters of the heavens.
And it says right here, a cluster of stars known throughout history as the Seven Sisters. And then I was just, they kind of took me by surprise because Black Mountain sits in the valley of the Seven Sisters.
Right.
And I was just telling that to,
Ridges.
there's the Seven Ridges, right, which are known as the Seven Sisters. And that's where I live.
And so I was just telling that to Pat, so we both think that that's we think that's funny.
It's exciting, see that?
That's ironic.